Hey everyone, my name is Nina Barnett and I'm the CEO and founder of Grooop. We're a little shaky. So what is Grooop? Grooop is a social safety app and it is the first one, and it's sort of a hybrid that makes it engaging and easy and simple to stay safe, but also a social way to keep it integrated in your life every day. So 1 in 5 women are sexually assaulted in college, which is a scary statistic, especially because I still am a college student. And this is something that really grabs the attention because you don't realize how many women are affected by this. And it is something that we see in the news every once in a while, and it makes a headline, but it is really a grabbing statistic. 27,000 on-campus criminal incidents since 2014. That's not a small number, and I think that people kind of put safety on the back burner, and a lot of college students go into college thinking they're invincible. I know I did, and most parents will say, please download this app, or please do this, but most college students will say that's just taking up my storage, that's using my data, using my battery, and it's not something that I really need to focus on because nothing would ever happen to me. So right now we have texting, we have the blue light systems, we have Find My Friends, but none of these seem to really be making a difference. Everyone knows about the blue light system, but no one has ever really used it or has ever felt like if they were in this situation, they could really run to it that fast. And with some of these other things like texting and Find My Friends can be too invasive for some people. And with texting, you may not have a real-time result because people just put all those messages by the wayside. But so a lot of these things that I noticed is that there's really no engaging way to stay safe. There isn't something that people think about every day. It's just something that is thought about after the fact. It's thought about after something tragic happens. And I wanted to eliminate that because you don't want to use this after the fact. You want to be able to stay safe your whole college experience, your whole high school experience, within your families, within co-working groups. And you can't just use it after. You need to be using it before something happens to prevent that. So Grooop is a simple and fun way to have your friend groups, your families, your co-workers to all be integrated together and to use a very, very simple app. So you have your safe zones, which you're able to set zones like your house, your apartment, places you go regularly and places you recognize. And anytime you walk into one of those zones, you don't even have to pull your phone out of your pocket and it updates your status. And this is great because it eliminates the texting, it eliminates any of those issues, but it also makes it just an easy way to stay safe. You also have the ready to go button, which is the social aspect. So people use the ready to go button if they're going to dinner, if they're coming home. And people sometimes use it if they want to stop talking to someone they're talking to. I mean, you can use it for anything. And that keeps it so people use it every day. But then the most important part is you have the alert button. This is the only time it's going to directly share your exact location. So otherwise, the app isn't going to be super invasive. This alert button is able to send out a push notification to all of your contacts in your active groups. So you can have active groups, as many as you want, with as many people as you want. And if you send out that alert, they get your exact location and the option to call or text you. The best part of this is that it isn't necessarily calling the police immediately. And this is really important because there's so many times that students are walking home and they're a little nervous, but they don't necessarily want to think about the worst case scenario. They don't want to think that they might need to call the police. That's just not a mindset people want to have. So this eliminates that and allows you to have the opportunity to contact people. And if they want, they can request your location if you're ready to go too, but otherwise, the alert's the only time that it's really sending out that location. So it's great to use in co-working groups. And for me, I'm studying abroad right now in London, and I didn't know many people on my program, and I didn't want to be sharing my location all the time with them. But I have that opportunity to be able to send out an alert if needed at any time. So here's an example of how you can update your status. You can do it right in the app, but you do have those automatic status updates. And also there's a lock screen widget. So you literally can just swipe on your phone and tap it with no problem at all and not having to unlock your phone, which eliminates the fumbling of texting or trying to call someone and lets you alert people in real time. And this is an example of the sending the emergency groups. So those notifications will be sent to any of those active groups. And you can disable or enable them whenever you want. So in case you don't want to be sharing any of your statuses with people, you're welcome to do that. So how are we different? What is the main thing that makes us different? I think that Grooop is the first way to really engage with students, really have them want to use an app and not just download it because their parents said to download it. I mean, I think my dad probably sent me 30 apps to download before college, and I probably looked at 2. And this makes it a way to have strength in numbers without actually being with people. In a world with such independence and freedom amongst young students and amongst young adults, this allows you to have the safety in numbers without having to be with people. I think that Grooop taps into a different part of people's psyche because it's not a bar hopping tool, but it's also not a tight leash, so it allows people to have that freedom. So why I care and who I am. So I'm still a student. I'm a junior at UNC Chapel Hill, majoring in physics and drama. Yes, you heard that right. They do not correlate at all. But I realized in high school that this would be a great idea, and then really on a college campus realized the need for safety because it's really not acknowledged. It's not put into people's lives, and it's sort of thought of this tragic thing that only appears in the news. So I think I speak for all students when I say that it's a real concern for men and women, and I think that being a woman and being a CEO on campus, I've seen the results real time. I've seen how it affects people's lives and how it's made people comfortable because they're using it when they're having fun, but also they're using it in the times they need it the most. So right now, we have college ambassadors all around the country, and we've recently expanded with international numbers, so we're on a few campuses in the UK. And we're still growing, and we hope to be on as many campuses as possible in high schools and colleges, along with middle and lower schools, and in metropolitan areas. I mean, it's a great thing to use in big cities for coworkers and for young adults, just for anyone really. So what about the money? So how does it make money? So right now there are 3 options. You can go towards sponsorship with organizations and schools, and you can also go towards targeted ads like Uber or things that would make sense with safety, and you can also go towards in-app subscription. Our plan is we want to build a huge user base. I don't want to change the app in any way that would affect the users because my main goal is to change safety on campuses. Yes, I would love to have an extremely successful app and for everyone to be using it, and I want people to not be able to imagine what their life was like before they had this. But I think that safety needs to be changed on campuses. It needs to be brought up, it needs to be talked about, and it needs to be acknowledged as not a scary issue. It needs to be a thing that people acknowledge in their lives. And I think that this is the goal, and to build that user base, and that's why the app is free in the App Store, because I knew that college students, I personally won't pay 99 cents for an app, no matter how good it is, but I'm telling you that I think that it will change the world, and I think that it is something that really needs to be acknowledged. And so right now, the plan is just really focusing on the user base. So the team right now, we have a great group of developers in Durham smashing boxes, and they've been really, really helpful. And then we also have 3 other students that have helped me on my team. So Corey's our social media manager and writes all of our blog posts. If you ever get a chance to look at them, they're really interesting. She has a great time with them. And I always write a couple. And then Kennedy runs our campus ambassador program. She's actually from the San Diego area, so this has been fun for her to see. And Edward helps with business development. And then my dad's over here. He's the president of the company. Quick shout out. Sorry, Dad, you're not on the slide. I hope I get dinner. But it's been great working with students too, because we have just such a collaborative an innovative team, because it is something with men and women, and obviously there's a huge focus on women, but it is something that I think really affects everyone and needs to be worked on together. So if you have any questions, we'll be at table 7 downstairs at 4, but thank you so much.